Lovely to see you again. Well, a great deal has happened since our last visit to the shack. Grown-ups, that's the word or phrase I'm going to use. So, saleable styles of popular music. What was Horatio Nichols saying about that in 1927? Do we still go for the same kind of songs as we did back then? Well, bit of a spoiler alert, we kind of do really. The art songs, the comedy chorus numbers, vocal dance music, instrumental music, production numbers. We mentioned the art song a few weeks ago. The art song, in reality, what one might term a modern classical ballad. Although the field is very restricted, there is a commercial aspect to it. Over the years there's been a distinct falling off in the ballad owing to the fact that dancing is booming and the public are provided with so much mechanical musical entertainment. Could have been written last week. One might describe the difference between the art song and the ballad as a difference of atmosphere and appeal to the senses as against a clear sentimental story. So what does that mean? I think that's the distinction between kind of singer-songwriter talking about their personal, possibly introspective, possibly more poetic stuff as against a straight down the line pop tune. There's likely to be a reaction from too much mechanical music, and when that comes the ballad will be wanted again. So yeah, those cycles in music where things get very high tech, they go back to being a bit more homespun. Obviously for people like myself, the whole punk and post-punk explosion was a really, really big deal, where there was a sea change in terms of what you could do, what you could get away with, how you actually did stuff, how you approached it, what level of musical skill you had to have, all these things. Well, we know all that, it's well charted territory. Oh yes, the comedy chorus number. The humour is the essential element here. In this type of song, more than any other, the lyric is all important. Now, accidentally, I had a comedy hit on my hands some years ago in my first kind of proper band. And but of course, we'd knocked off a song, Bigot on a Horse. It was fun for us to play. We didn't really think that much of it. Audiences started to really like it, and it was sitting against our other catalogue of kind of slightly earnest political indie pop, if I want to be brutally honest. But anyway, this song, Bigot on a Horse, ended up being the one that we got it played on the radio a little bit, etc., and people got interested. But we were like, no, that's lightweight stuff. But we didn't recognise the fact that we'd had great fun writing it, and that it made us laugh, and we thought, oh, there's something about this was something with currency. But you don't when you're a kid. Instrumental music. With the renewed interest in films and the advent of the talking film, there's a very definite demand for instrumental music. Melodious, descriptive, and not too difficult. Okay, instrumental music, well, we hear it now as dance music, electronic dance music, they're instrumentals. What's really interesting here is these instrumental pieces generally take the form of a suite of 4 pieces under one main title. Now, I'm no expert on electronic dance music, but I know that it has kind of 4 components. There's the introduction, there's the other bit, and then the 4th bit. Thank you. Production numbers. The lyricist Don Black read his book On the Wireless recently. Really interesting, from the perspective of him being a lyricist and having done an incredible amount of work. But also he was talking on one of the programs about musicals they didn't have one central idea, and the songs weren't written for that show. You'd kind of get a bunch of songs, glue them together, buy some costumes, work out some dance routines, bingo. So Horatio talks about production numbers here, a number that you might write especially for some musical show. The success or non-success of a production number depends upon the success or non-success of the show or artists in the show. If it happens to become the theme song in a very successful musical show, the results may be great indeed. That's the thing, you see, a musical would be put together in a very different way than it is now. Vocal dance music. Under this heading we place all popular songs that serve the dual role of singing numbers and dancing numbers. See 20 top charts, UK, etc. Here the lilt and the rhythm are the chief factors for making the success. There you go, nothing's changed at all. Thinking about my endeavours in that area, I, at this point in the game, really wouldn't mind at all if I'd happened to have knocked out Baby Shark, for example. Do. So we're nearly at the end of the book. He talks a bit about publishing. Do I want to do a treatise about music publishing? Possibly, I don't know. Another thing that I wanted to say, I can't remember where this fitted in exactly, but the idea of people the genuine song, the art song, the thing where it's kind of perceived as being sincere and not necessarily designed to be completely commercial. There's a real kind of schism in that world in terms of modern country music, or country stroke Americana, and sitting in one camp or the other. Just today I noticed that Jason Isbell and Amanda Shires are going to send back their membership cards to the CMA because neither John Prine nor Billy Joe Shaver nor Jerry Jeff Walker were mentioned at the Country Music Association Awards. That's the thing, the recognition of the real authentic songwriter. Arguably it's something that fell by the wayside, way back in the 1960s. But it's the thing that a lot of people have made the transition from the kind of punk world into the Americana world. We've taken off the spray painted T-shirt and replaced it with the check shirt of honest 3 chords and the truth, or 2 chords and some fiction, or something along those lines. But that idea of authenticity, it's carried through. So a lot of the people kicking around the kind of music that I'm now doing, we've come from that kind of punk or post-punk world, which I think is really interesting. It's keeping something that's perceived to be authentic. Is it authentic? I don't know, but you follow your nose. And yes, people do tend to stick in the music tastes, or the bit that has the most resonance for you is often the music of your youth. And some people keep seeking and finding new music and moving ahead and all the time, but a lot of us, there's something that we connected with in our young day, and that kind of continues. And we can't all be David Bowie and reinvent ourselves and be a completely different thing. Is that enough?